All right, so today we're going to get into a little bit of the earnings side of things, especially as many stocks and companies start to report. This seems to be and will be the earnings seasons. Now, the cool thing about this is there's a lot of crypto-related companies out there that are dropping into this. We're going to break them all down for you. It's going to be a good one. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. Let's start off with just in general. This is a big earnings week. Obviously, you have Apple coming in, Amazon coming in, quite a bit happening this week on earnings. And what does this mean in terms of how some of these projects, companies, will start to perform in a time in which we've seen a lot of pressure on not only securities, but also crypto in general. So we're going to take a look at that, break that down for you, give you guys kind of some insights there. A couple of points I want to hit on here. Crypto stocks slumping a little bit on U.S. securities ruling is pretty much a bargain window. A lot of people are looking at this right now. U.S. court ruling siding with the SEC and an understandable time for markets to chill a bit. Here's what's listed in the current 5-day percentage change in terms of their price. You've got Block down a little bit, Coinbase down 12, Hive, Marathon, Microstrategy even down 10, NVIDIA down 5, which is significant, and then even Riot down 5. So while prices are low due to this news event, it may also be an opportunity for altcoin bargain hunters to take a play. So there's a few things happening out there right now that could be a scenario. I'd love to know if you guys are actually going into some of these stocks, crypto stocks, so to speak, that are kind of or hedging your bet around the security side of it. Do you invest in crypto stocks? Let me know. Drop some comments down below. But with that in point, markets interpreting the regulation of crypto as bearish for token prices, maybe missing the important securities regulation kind of lining out. And of course, something that I look at is how all this regulatory framework that's being lined up in the House right now, how this will really play out. I'm leaning more and more positive to this potentially actually getting through the House, which will say a lot. Even if it doesn't clear the Senate floor, there is a lot of opportunity here, and timing here could be very critical over the next really 30 to 90 days of how many of these kinds of stocks and also cryptos in general will perform potentially around what is going to be happening with regulatory scenarios. One other thing that is kind of shaking up a little bit of change, and that is where is people putting their cash? How are they getting cash? Here's just a quick article right now. Apple said users have deposited more than 10 billion in the savings account. We covered this on a video on the Apple savings account launching. Basically, real simple. If you have an Apple card, you have the ability, I think if they open it up to anybody as opposed to just Apple Card users, that would probably double or triple. And you think about 10 billion, not a lot, but I was actually surprised at how much that was. But 10 billion right now in consumers getting paid on depositing cash into that savings account, much like any other money market or savings account out there right now that's paying well in excess of 4%. Robinhood, of course, sees a little bit of stock adjustment here, 18% in the last earnings. And I think the key here with Robinhood is going to be how they play through. Because remember, one of the things that will be a big part of Robinhood's success and growth is going to be crypto. Now, we're going to break down a few things in what they did in their earnings report, play a couple of clips for you guys to kind of give you an idea. But this could be a time in which it's a very undervalued stock. Question is, do you guys invest in those? Love to know. Drop some comments down below. Let's go over to our first clip here. And this is talking about the X1 card connection with Robinhood. Listen in.
And I'm excited to announce an important milestone today. In Q2, we reached GAAP profitability for the first time as a public company. With our competitive 4.9% rate on cash and the new 3% IRA match, we're starting to spin this flywheel even faster. Let me talk a bit about the X1 acquisition. X1 provides their 80,000 cardholders with an awesome stainless steel card, attractive customer rewards, and a sleek and user-friendly mobile platform. The team is working hard to ship a great new Robinhood card that we're excited to offer to our 23 million customers, and we'll expand from there. Like Robinhood, they think of this as a technology problem, and they leverage technology to build a simple and seamless user experience. I was at dinner with Deepak last night, and he pulled out a prototype for the new Robinhood credit card, and it's beautiful, and I'm very excited to share it with our customers.
So Robinhood's making some moves here. I think, again, the connection to crypto, even though the crypto trading is down almost 20%, the fact that they're moving in the right direction. You just think about crypto in general. I think trading for the most part has been shifted over a lot to Coinbase, and so many mainly because of all the situations that have really happened in crypto over the last year, just the security side of it. But I think Robinhood still is one of the major players in this, in this landscape. I want to go to this next clip on kind of the crypto outlook for Robinhood. Listen in.
At Robinhood, you get more crypto for your dollar than at most of our competitors. And I think we've started to do a better job communicating that in the user interface. Crypto has kind of continued to soften. So you sort of see multiple conflicting things, and that can be reflected in the MAU numbers because a significant percentage of our customer base is customers that trade crypto as well. It's very important for us to be the most trusted and safest company in crypto. And I think, with all the turmoil in the space over the past year or so, I think there has been a little bit of a flight to safety, and we're seeing that reflected in some of the market share gains you're seeing. And that's something that we'd like to continue to invest in.
All right. So again, good news in the essence of how Robinhood is and potentially lining up for what could be a good bull run for crypto. And of course, I think that will play well on Robinhood's balance sheet. If you look at their assets under custody, this was 13% to 89 billion, mainly because of new equity valuation. So part of that is there. But if you look at that top line right there, that is net cash held by users, holding it at 14 billion. So remember, I just showed you 10 billion from Apple, who has quite a few more users than Robinhood. For them to have the kind of Apple, not necessarily known as a finance product, but the fact that they have that much reach could easily, I thought they would convert much more than 10 billion, even though it's cardholders. But 14 billion in what we're talking about is net cash held by users. Now, this is the advantage of Robinhood, because if you're holding cash in non-used cash in a Robinhood account, you're being paid almost 5% right now on your yield, interest yield on your cash. 12 billion of this sits in cryptocurrencies. Again, a very large amount, not necessarily a bad thing, because if you look at Q4, which was their lowest amount right there, 8 billion, and only 8 billion in cash, all of this has started to escalate. But notice how much more cash is on the sideline. But at the same time, what are people doing? This is called dollar cost averaging right there. From 8 billion, 12, and another 12 billion right there. 63 billion, of course, in equities and options. So this is a good sign, I think. There was a couple other things within their report that they got into. Again, annualized growth rate, 21% in Q2 and 25% over the past 12, so not too bad. The average revenue per user is climbing. This is another big advantage. So this tells me that Robinhood is starting to jettison, the inactive users and, people that just aren't into it anymore. Maybe they got out of trading for whatever reason. This is a good sign because it is starting to move, and it's been consistent all the way from Q1 2022, which was their bottom at $53. So good signs for Robinhood. Let me know, do you guys use Robinhood as a crypto trading platform? I know their big limitation right now is the $5,000 a day or in a 24-hour period that you can get crypto out. That's the biggest problem. You can buy as much as you want, but if you want to move crypto out, that is one of the biggest reasons I've kind of shied away from Robinhood. But I'd love to know your opinion on it. Let me know. Just as a reminder, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, it's very simple. Jump into the subscription right there on the top right, and you can click that little bell right there that says all, and that's going to give you a notification when we go live. And when we go live, of course, we love to thank our sponsors, and that is Chart Prime. If you guys want to elevate your trading game, you can do it with Chart Prime. It's one of the tools that we use ourselves in terms of trading, and we also do analysis each week and break down trending tokens, and we only do that in our mastermind. So as part of the Chart Prime partnership, you guys, of course, can check that out. Use our link down below. All right, a couple things I want to hit on here with Coinbase. Coinbase losses now could be improving results. And this is going to be interesting, especially as we look at crypto in general. And this gets into the idea of the ETF. people looking at this as a potential bull run catalyst. Also, you look at the scenarios of Coinbase and the Ripple situation, Coinbase potentially in a better legal status now with the Ripple win, so to speak, and how all of this may play out into the positive, especially in the fact that Coinbase right now is going head to head with the SEC. So definitely some opportunity here, I think, for Coinbase. And I think also the big players, of course, that look at Coinbase is people like Cathie Wood. All right, one thing that Coinbase is doing is they've increased their rate, just like everybody else. The Fed fund rate goes up, they're going to pay you more on interest or rewards in their case, 4.6 rewards on all USDC held on Coinbase. Now, one thing about this is why they use the word rewards, because if you look, and it's used in their USDC yield product when the underlying investment is clearly treasuries, which pay yield, which is shared from the center of consortium to Circle and Coinbase to the customer in a structured product. So technically it should be yield, I guess, in a way. But the biggest issue with Coinbase of doing this, if there is one, is that you're holding US dollars. If you're holding US dollars, you get paid zero. If you convert that to USDC, you get your yield, your reward. But to purchase crypto, you have to convert back to US dollars. So that hoop that they make you run through, where as opposed into Robinhood, if it's just cash in the bank unused into investments, the minute that you say, hey, I'm converting from cash, that's when it goes out of the interest earning account and right into an active trade. So I think Coinbase should change that, but I don't know, maybe there's something there. Let me know if is there something there, something I'm missing of why they do that, because that seems to be an easy slam dunk. If you look at just Cathie of who she's investing in right now, again, crypto kind of leads the way. And Hood, of course, is right there on the top. Currently, she's selling off a little bit of that, mainly because of the requirements. Then, of course, you see their Coinbase position right there, also selling off a slight amount of Coinbase as well, Coinbase stock. Others to watch out for that are out there in this space is HUD 8. Many of you guys have seen HUD 8 on the show many times. They have their earnings, so be watching for HUD 8 on August 10th. This is going to be a critical date for them. All right, so one thing to look at around, outside of just HUD 8 and Coinbase and Robinhood, you could also look at Microstrategy. And of course, this is our friend Jeff Ross over there at Vailshire Capitals. He's obviously biased, but he says, hey, he's owning shares and he's also putting this into his own fund, and that is in reference to what Saylor is doing. And really, I mean, we did a full report on what Saylor is doing in terms of additional Bitcoin acquisition. And really, if you look at Saylor's strategy, I think is brilliant. What they've been able to do with MicroStrategy to hedge into Bitcoin and really change kind of the face of what MicroStrategy is. This is as close to an ETF fund manager as you could get. So I agree with Jeff. Should probably get Jeff back on the show one day. Now, some other big news on the front of crypto-related high-performing stocks is Amazon. And this is an interesting one. Amazon's NFT plans tease in a receipt mailed Friday afternoon. This was actually going into the fact that they're getting into an NFT marketplace. And you kind of see a little bit here. Good news, your order has been completed. Your digital token is now in your gallery. Keep in mind, it won't be able to resell it until it's unlocked. So this tells me, and we've talked about this, these were rumors swirling about Amazon planning to release its own NFT marketplace soon. The likelihood is real. And the way that we're seeing this is right here. Amazon partners with Mojo Melee. This is, of course, rewarding Prime subscribers with NFT rewards. We had the Mojo team on our show as well. If you guys are going to want to go watch that, see a little bit about what that is. It's a great game. It's going to be a browser-based game that is playing into, guess where? Prime Gaming. And Prime Gaming is going to be a epicenter of where NFTs will start to integrate into Amazon. And I think, again, whether they downplay this, Amazon, whether they downplay this for their earnings call, or if they use this as a potential leverage, because I know NFT is still considered kind of a bad word, but I think there's going to be an opportunity here that Amazon has already seen in terms of growth, and they want to be in the middle of it. So good stuff for them. Last up was Unity. And of course, Unity, let's just say, guys, they absolutely killed it on their earnings and their performance. Their CEO was even very bullish, meaning that they know something. And the idea behind Unity, if you're not aware of Unity and have never, checked it out, go take a look at the company. The reason I like it is because of its integration into the future of AR, VR. And also, when you look at Unity, I think of it like my new Apple stock. And the reason that I think this is so related to what we're going to see in the crypto space in blockchain is because the potential for gaming. And gaming, of course, will be tied into this. And of course, the power of all these different companies that kind of align themselves with the future of blockchain is really important. Unity, of course, is one we're following very heavily. In fact, very heavily. We've talked about it for quite a while here on the show. All right, so just as a reminder, some other things here that kind of is on the horizon is XRP. Could it make an ETF is a question mark. I think the scenario that plays into this of course is in the wake of the Ripple decision. Discussions about a potential XRP exchange-traded fund have been gaining momentum. This comes from firms seeking to establish Ethereum ETFs. So I don't know, the Ethereum ETF, bonfire that started this week, especially on the futures side, could possibly cause a catalyst of maybe moving some other high-ranking tokens such as XRP coming into this. But if that were to happen, I think we would see a pretty significant move here. This was Jess Seyfert. He's been on our show before. 7 Ethereum futures ETF filings from 6 issuers, all of them behind the volatility shares, which we know about with their Bitcoin ETF futures filing. Key aspect here is that they are all the same firm that managed to get a 2x Bitcoin futures ETF. That is done. It's already in and slam dunk. So I don't know, maybe there's an opportunity here, guys. Anybody in the futures, let me know. Drop some comments down below if you're in the futures. Here's James kind of just breaking it down here. Grayscale also refiled, which we knew within that. I think the cool thing here is that we're starting to see an opening starting to develop, both from the Bitcoin ETF filings that we already know in place, now with ETH futures filings, and potentially others maybe playing into this, along with regulation starting to line up. You've got all these different companies. You've got a global climate right now hitting around blockchain with Mika and what's happening in Asia. I don't know, it just feels like a perfect storm is brewing. Are we getting ready to get into a very bullish run on crypto? If you guys are not part of the CPI, which is our Crypto Power Index, make sure and get in. You can just jump over to our website. It's a great place to kind of track what's happening in crypto, but mainly around all of our tokens, all that good stuff. So just jump in there. We've got a mastermind group you can jump into. Lots of different options for you, especially around sentiment tracking, which kind of looks and monitors the success. Make sure and, of course, subscribe to our podcast as well. Of course, the podcast there that you're looking at with the Diamond Circle, that's only available if you join the Diamond Circle. So get in, it's free. Just click the link down below and jump in there. It's a great place to get additional content from me. We also do, Kyle Wilson does a great podcast on Web3 that we publish every week for you guys, so you can jump in there as well. If you're not out there on X, formerly known as Twitter, get out there. You can follow me. It's just @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.